Hey guys, Rob from Team Squeegee. This is part 2 of how to create a contract. In this episode, we're going to take the contract or the agreement that we just created in Word. We're going to save it as a PDF form, and then we're going to create a fillable form in Adobe Acrobat. Now, if you notice, I have Adobe Acrobat Pro, but you can download Adobe Acrobat for free and do exactly what I'm going to do. You don't have to have the Pro version. The Pro version does give me a little bit more options, but for creating a fillable form, you can use the free version just by going to Adobe Acrobat and downloading the free version. Okay, we have our agreement that if you watch the first video, we created from scratch. This is our window cleaning and gutter cleaning agreement in PDF form. We converted that to this fillable form where I take my iPad and I'm at the customer's house and I fill out all this information on the iPad, Mr. Customer, etc., phone number, and see how it automatically changed the phone number into the correct format. The date is up here, email. I can click on each of these little dials depending on what the customer gets, etc. I do all this on the iPad in front of the customer. My iPad is connected to the internet, so you have to have that. In these areas, the customer will actually initial on the iPad, sign the iPad as if they were signing for a receipt. And then we email them a flattened copy of this. And by doing it this way, we don't need to use any type of paper or anything like that, and it's very professional. Customers love it, and it's fast. Okay, so once you have the contract done, you have to save it as a PDF form, which is what we just did. And then once you save it as a PDF form, it will automatically open in Adobe Acrobat, just like this. Okay. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty awesome. We did a good job. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is we have to go up here to File, Create, PDF Form. It's going to give you this option, use the current document. Just hit Next. Again, use the current document. Next. You are in form editing mode. Just click OK. And now if you look at it, you can see that Adobe has already tried to help you a little bit. They have filled in, see where it says service address and it's kind of blue, and these little, these little boxes are blue. Adobe, in its effort to help you, has already done some of the work. Authorized signature, little boxes here. So good for Adobe, but it's not perfect. You see where it says phone, there's nothing there, and where it says name, there's nothing there either. And where it says date, the date is a little off. It's over here, and there's nothing under account number. So each of these places next to phone, next to name, next to service, we need a blue box just like this one. Okay, and what each box represents is places where we can input data. So since Adobe already has this blue box that says date, what we're going to do is just drag it over by left clicking. See how I can move it wherever I want, and I'm going to put it inside this box where it belongs, and then I'm going to make it expand all the way to the edge on both sides. And if I needed to go up and down, I would do the same. So now what would happen if I were to save it right now is that anytime, I'm going to switch over to the other one, anytime I click on this right here, if I'm on my iPad and I click on that, a little calendar will actually pop up, and then I could just select the date. Or I can just put in the date like so, and it'll work. Now if I put in, let's say that I try to put in Tuesday, whatever, any words at all. What happens, and then I click, I get an error. It says that I have to put in the information like month, month, day, day, year, year. The same would happen if I try to put text inside of a phone number area. It won't let me. See? It won't let me. You have to put in numbers in the phone number areas. Now, that's all by design, and you are going to be the one who makes those rules. And it's simple. I'll show you how. So this first part, we have date, and that's done. Okay. Next, we have account number. Now, you're going to want to put in the customer's account number here. So what we have to add is what we call a field, a new field. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can right click, which is the easiest, and we want a text field. All the fields, whether it's a number or text, is actually called a text field. Okay, so we're going to click on text field, and then see how you get this blue box. Now I haven't clicked anything yet, but it's got like crosshairs, so I'm going to put that where I want it, right in there. And then I'm going to name it. I'm going to name it account number. And then where it says, now this depends. It defaults to text. But if your account number is literally numbers, then you're going to need to change it from text to numbers. So you do that by clicking on all properties. And whenever you click on all properties, this pops up. We're going to go over here to format. Where it says select format category, you're going to select number. Okay. Again, this is if your account number field should be numbers only, so that if you try to put in letters, it will reject it. Now, if your account number consists of letters and numbers, then you need to just leave it as a regular text field. Okay. But in this case, we're going to say that all account numbers are actual numbers, so we're going to select numbers. This defaults to the American standard of 1, 2, 3, 4, dot, and then 5, 6. So let's just leave it as that and hit close. Now see how it overlaps our box a little bit? You could leave it like that, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm going to bring it up just by dragging and line this side up. Now name, we need to add another text, another field. So we're going to right click, text field. We're going to put it right there. We'll call this one name. And we're going to extend this box all the way down to there. Next, we need a phone number field. So we'll right click, text field. Put in our box. We're going to name it phone. Now here, because again it defaults to text only, we need to change it to numbers. So we're going to click on all properties. Click on format if it doesn't show up. Select category. We don't want numbers because it's not a number, it's an actual phone number, and that falls under special. So we click on special, and then we're going to select phone number and close. And let's line up our box a little bit better. Right there. Okay. We're going to do city, right click, text field. We'll call this city. And then we're going to stretch it out a little bit. Same thing here for state. We're going to right click, text field, line it up, state, and we're going to line it up a bit better. Same thing for zip. We're going to right click, text field, put it where we want it. We'll call this one zip. Again, this one's going to be numbers, but it's going to be a zip code, so we're going to select all properties. It should be on format. If not, click on format. Select category. Go down to special. And select zip code. Don't do select zip code +4 because most people don't know they're +4. So just select basic zip code. And hit close. Make it fit. And then we're good. Contact person, right click. Text field. We'll name this one contact person. And we're good. Let's make it a little bit bigger by dragging it. Contact phone number, right click. Text field. Add it where you want it. Right there. Name it. Select all properties. Select format. None. Special. Phone number. Select close. Make it fit. And we're done. All right. So next, if you want the little radial dials, let me show you. On ours, you can select these little radio dials on the iPad. So we didn't do any radio dials, which would have been easy enough. All we would have had to do is put a 0 right here next to it, the letter O, before we converted it to a PDF. So we can't really add that now. But what we can do is we can still add where you just select it. Okay. So the way we're going to do that, next to package 1, right click. And you could do a radio button or you could do a checkbox. Let's do a checkbox. And we're going to enter it right there. And that's all you got to do. Now let's do another checkbox for package 2. Checkbox right there. And another one for package 3. Same thing. Okay. Now over here we have this field box, which Adobe automatically filled in, which we don't need. So we're just going to highlight it by left clicking and then hit delete. Here, Adobe was nice enough to fill in these text boxes, these fields for us, and named them field 12, 13, 14, etc. But we need to make sure, because this is a dollar amount, that it's in currency format. So we're going to left click on it to highlight it, then right click. And you can rename the field if you want. I'm not going to. Format. And we're going to go to number. And here you can add a currency symbol if you want, which, if you're in America would be a $. But if you do that, then what's going to happen is you're going to have, because we already put it on our form, you're going to have $2 there. So in this particular example, I'm just going to say none because we already have the $sign filled in. And then close. And we have to do that for each of them. So right click, properties, format, number, close. Okay, so we have all these filled out number style. So now we can enter in numbers there. There's a $sign pre-written on the form. So those are all dollars because it's cost and it's total of each package. Now Adobe already did this box here for linear foot, but it defaults to text, and total linear foot needs to be numbers, so we're going to right click, properties, we're going to change the format to numbers, like so, and hit close. And we have to do exactly what we did up here, down here, starting with putting in the check mark. So we right click, checkbox, we're going to add it, and then we're done with that. And we're going to do the rest here, which you already know how to do, including deleting this one and this one. Okay, now for special instructions, Adobe already filled this out and it defaults to text, so it's actually perfect the way it is. We don't need to change anything. Now here, since it's going to be digital, you need to be able to push each one of these. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add either a check mark or a radial dial. Now let's just do checkbox. We're going to add that right on top there. Now we won't be able to see underneath this checkbox. In other words, if we place this checkbox right on top of January or right on top of FEB for February, etc., then it's going to hide it. So we have to change the way it appears on the digital screen on your iPad. So we're going to click on All Properties. We're going to go to Appearance. The border color, we're going to change to no color. And the fill color, we're going to change to no color. And then we're going to close. So now what will happen is you're just going to see January, but if you touch it with your finger, a check mark will appear. Right click on the month, go to checkbox, put it in there, and that's it. And then do the next one. So I'm going to do that real quick. You guys do that. Okay, so we got that in there. All right, very good. Next, we have all our legal mumbo jumbo down here. And remember over here, we wanted these two boxes to be where the customer initials. Adobe automatically filled these two boxes in as texts, but we need to fill those in as signatures. So we're going to get rid of what Adobe did for us by hitting delete. Then we're going to right click. We're going to click on digital signature. And we're going to make this box right here. And then we're going to make it small. Just like so. And it's okay if you make your digital signature box bigger than the actual square. Actually, it makes it a little bit easier. Then you're going to do the same thing, right click, digital signature. And make it however big you want. So now what happens is whenever the customer clicks on this box, a signature prompt will come up and the customer can sign right on your iPad or right on your phone. By the way, you can do all this on your phone. You can you don't need an iPad. I keep saying iPad, but you can do it on your smartphone as well. And then down here, see how it has this little red right here, this little red part, versus this one down here doesn't have the red. That means that this is an actual signature field, which Adobe already filled in for us. So they recognize this as a place to sign, so we don't have to do anything with that. But this one down here is just a text box, and we do need a signature there. So we're going to delete this one, and we're going to add a digital signature there. And when we're done, it'll have that same little flag in the upper corner there. Just like that, see? So now we've got this flag here and this little flag here, which represents a signature. And we've got one more. Adobe filled this in for us already, the total due, which is a dollar amount. So again, we need to change this to a number. So we're going to right click, click on Properties, click on Format, Special Category, Number, Close. Okay, so we need to add a clear form button on here. So for example, on ours, if we type in something, you know, and we get all the way through it and we make a mistake and we realize we need to clear the entire form, then all we do is just hit this little button right here that's red. If you hover over it, it says clear form, and see everything went away. So we need to add that on there. Trust me, you want to have it. So we add that clear form button by right clicking where we want to put it. Select text field. Put the button where you want. Let's name it clear form. Select all properties. Select actions. On select trigger, we want mouse up, which I believe is default. On select action, we want to scroll down to reset form. Then you have to add it, and when we add it, it'll pop up right down here. Add. Now we can select just one or two things to clear, or you can clear the whole form. By default, everything is selected, and since we're keeping it simple, let's just leave it that way so that the entire form is cleared whenever we hit that button. So hit OK. Now you see over here it says upon mouse up, the form will reset. So then we just hit close, and it's there. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got just one more thing to do. We need to make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to do. And a simple way to do that is to click this preview button up here. And then it shows you basically a preview of what you've created. And all we're going to do is go in and make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to. And if it doesn't, then we need to fix it. So for example, we click on date. So you see I typed in 1/21/18. The format is incorrect, so it gives me an error. I need to type in 0. I need to type in month, day, day, and then a 4 year. So let's do that. Make sure it works. And it worked. Okay, now on your iPad or on your phone, whenever you click on this, you'll actually get a calendar pop up, and then you just select the date. Now if for some reason yours defaulted and it did not give you the date format, simple enough. Just go back to this edit. You're going to right click on the date field. You're going to select properties. Click on format. Click on date. And then select the format that you want to put your date in. Maybe you just want, the last two, this one instead of all four. It's up to you. Okay, so let's go back to preview. Now for account number, we want whole numbers. We don't want a decimal place. So looks like that worked. If you do not have whole numbers and you have decimals, no worries, just go back to edit. Right click, properties, format. Where you have a 2 here, click on that, scroll up, change it to 0, hit close. Very good. Let's go back to preview. Let's make sure our clear form button works. And it does. Okay, let's make sure that we can type letters here. Let's make sure we can type a phone number here. That works. Here we need to be able to type numbers and letters. Good. Just testing every field. Okay, now here I tried to put in some letters. It gave me an error. Let's put in some numbers here. Good. Let's do a phone number. Make sure that works. Perfect. Letters in this field. Here we need to be able to put letters, numbers, and special symbols. Let's double check that. Perfect. We didn't put a check mark here, so if you want a check mark next to window cleaning, you know how to do that. But we did put one here. That works. Click on it again, goes away. Package 2, click on it again, goes away. Perfect. Should be able to put numbers here and see how they default to the decimal point. Good. Good. Total linear feet, we should be able to put in numbers. Again, that should be whole numbers. So if you have decimal places, just click Edit. Right click on total linear feet. Go to Properties. You probably have a 2 here. So just change the 2 to 0. Hit Close. And it should work. Go back to Preview. Type in your numbers. No more decimal. Same thing as above. You should be able to click on each of these. Perfect. Here you want decimal places. Excellent. You guys are doing awesome. This one's almost over. Awesome. Keep in mind that you can cater this. You can make as many fields as you want. You can take out fields. You can add signatures. You can do really a lot. It's very powerful. Under special instructions, we should be able to type numbers and letters. Excellent. For window cleaning, we should be able to check each of these and also uncheck them. Same as gutter cleaning. I'm just randomly clicking on some to make sure they work. Looks like they do. It's perfect. You guys are doing awesome. Over here, I'm not going to click on it, but you should have your little red flag. And if you click on that, then it should ask you for a signature. I don't remember, but it might ask you to create a digital signature. And if it does, just follow the prompts. Go ahead and create your own digital signature. And when you save it, because it'll ask you, do you want to save it to your computer local? Just select yes and save it to your local. Now, whenever you get out in the field and you click on this on your phone or your iPad, it will not ask for your digital signature, but it'll say, do you want to use your digital signature? And just say no, and then a little prompt will pop up and your customer can sign or initial inside the box. Same thing here. Good, we've got the little flag, the initials, signature here, we've got, and then total amount due should be decimals, and it is. Awesome. Okay, so we've completed this form, and this is we digitized our simple window cleaning, gutter cleaning contract or agreement in this case. And you can do this with all your agreements or with all your contracts, and you can get as creative as you want. Once we have this, then we need to save it as a PDF. So you're going to go to File, Save As, PDF. Then you're going to name it. I'm going to name this one Contract 5. And then I'm going to hit Save. Okay, great. So now you should have a fillable PDF, which we just created, that you can edit. That looks like this in edit mode. You should have a Word document saved onto your computer as a Word document that you can go in and edit, case you ever need to change your package deals or your verbiage or your business. You want to add some different aspects to it. And then you should also have a PDF form, which now whenever you save it as a PDF will look like this. You have completed your fillable PDF form. Whenever we preview, it looks pretty awesome. You did a great job. Now, whenever you go out to your customer's home, you pull this up, you fill it out in front of them. On your iPad or on your phone, you will have a little option up here that says send. You click on that, and then it'll ask for the email to where you want to send it, and then you punch in the email, and then you hit send, and you're done. And what I usually do is I save a copy after I've filled it out with the customer information, save a copy to the cloud, and I also email it to myself just kind of as a backup. Keep in mind that you can use this technique to make a contract or an agreement for almost any industry. So tell all your friends who take a look at this. All right, thanks guys. So thanks for sticking with me. I know this was long, but I hope that it really helped someone. I appreciate all the likes, and if this helped you, if you got some ideas from it, please like and subscribe.